Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host, Club After the Club That Was Sportsbook, coming to you live right here, Leesburg, Virginia, Loudoun County area. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I will talk to you guys about the fact that of the NFL preseason games, narrowed it down to 2 games in August. Get you guys to that for sure. Also, I will get you guys into the Kibash Night 1 results, Fyter Fest Night 1 results as well, everybody, on that particular note. Also, want to leave you guys with also just the fact of what Maya Moore did, though. Releasing an inmate, by the way, from a wrongful conviction. By the way, Skins need to get a name change. And I'll talk to you guys also about the just the fact that late great Kobe Bryant is going to be landing on the NBA 2K21 Mamba Forever editions on the current gen and next gen. By the way, that'll be surprising news. Novak Djokovic and his wife test negative for the coronavirus. Also, Jose Quintana undergoes microscopic surgery on laceration on his left thumb after he was doing dishes. So get you guys that for sure. And Cam Newton's message after he made his bone-chilling game changer after bone-chilling game changer when he signed with the Pats. I'll get you guys just for that for sure. Telling you guys exactly as to what he could have in store for the upcoming season, and whether or not this is the last of Cam Newton everyone's going to witness. I'll get you guys that just for sure. So all that will be unraveled. I will say that. And he did practice, with his new Pats teammates for sure. So I'll get you guys that. But I'm just going to start things off with the NXT's Great American Bash Night 1 results. You saw Tegan Nox earn her spot at being a number 1 contender for the NXT Women's title. Dexter Lumis wins the first ever NXT strap match, defeating Roderick Strong. Timothy Thatcher defeats Oney Lorcan. Rhea Ripley defeats Aliyah and Robert Stone in a handicap match. You even saw Shirai, the NXT Women's Champ, take on one half of the Women's Tag Team Champs, the Blueprint Boss herself, Sasha Banks. By the way, that was I tell you, that was a good match. By the way, there was a little bit of assist from Asuka as well. So really, well, those are your NXT Great American Bash results. By the way, Night 1, that is. I gotta say the other part. We saw Asuka. All right. So here's the thing: Io Shirai, Asuka, and Bayley and Sasha Banks. They're all champs, women's champs. You got Bayley as SmackDown Women's Champ and one half of the Women's Tag Team Champs. You got Sasha Banks as one half of Women's Tag Team Champs. The other half, by the way, Io Shirai, NXT Women's Champ. You got Asuka as Raw Women's Champ. And I gotta tell you, the end part, Night 1 was incredible. I gotta tell you that right now. Asuka and Io Shirai. That was incredible. That was absolutely incredible. Both are champs. But I don't mean to put people in spoiler alert, though. I can tell you what could happen here. Now, even though Asuka and Kairi Sane were former 2-time Women's Tag Team champs, you might see Io Shirai. I mean, yes, Tegan Nox got her hand. Tegan Nox is gonna get her title opportunity, her NXT Women's title opportunity against Io Shirai, by the way. But I will tell you this right now, for sure, so the record straight, Io Shirai could be going to the main roster, and anytime she wants. I mean, yes, Io Shirai and Asuka, they did team up in Japan a couple years ago, back in 2011, by the way. And honestly, I will say, and last night was a reunion. I gotta tell you that. So I don't want to put anybody spoiler alert though, but You may see Asuka and Io Shirai, unless Io Shirai comes to the main roster, by the way. Very clear when Hikaru Saint's going to come back. You might see Io Shirai come to the main roster, be Asuka's tag team partner, and Asuka and Io Shirai, they may be next in line for the women's tag team titles. They would take on Sasha Banks and Bayley somewhere down the road. Oh, yes. People, that happens. Don't say I told you so, because it may change history. We saw it around front row very honest. I mean, Io Shirai versus Sasha Banks was box office. I will say that for sure. And that's some really good ratings too. I mean, I'm saying about that. So if Io Shirai decides to come to the main roster, teaming up with Asuka and Hikaru Saint, whenever she gets back, that trio, that will be epic. That will be absolutely epic. I will say that right now. I mean, yes, even though Io Shirai and Hikaru Saint, they were the Sky Powers in the NXT days, for sure. So it'll be a big surprise. And I mean, it'll be an absolute surprise if Io Shirai and Asuka were taking on Sasha Banks and Bayley in a women's tag team match. But it could be, maybe, for the women's tag team titles. I will say that for sure. I mean, yes, Io Shirai did beat Sasha Banks last night. This could grant her the opportunity. Now, Io Shirai, this could grant her the opportunity. Now, this could grant Asuka and Io Shirai an opportunity at the women's tag team titles. Every other brand wants it. Raw, SmackDown, NXT. I will tell you this right now. If that ensues, ladies and gentlemen, that right there will be must see, will be must watch television. And folks, where else are you going to see that? Smartphone, you enter smartphone, your iPhones, Xbox One, Rise of Files, Roku, laptop, anywhere you want. But I will say, Asuka and Io Shirai teaming up, taking on Sasha Banks and Bayley for the women's tag team titles will be a match made in heaven. Oh, yes, it would. Yes, it would. But I gotta tell you, though, I mean, Kyrie's saying that would be good. She's a former women's tag team champ. She's a former NXT women's champ. And yes, Asuka, Kyrie saying, and Io Shirai were all former NXT women's champs. But I gotta tell you right now, they will indeed be back. They will in this trio, or this duo of Asuka and Io Shirai. The Empress and the Genius in the Sky, or is the Pirate Princess? This is going either way. I'll tell you, Io Shirai comes to the main roster. Big move on her part. Really big move on her part. I would say that right now. So this will be must see. That will be must watch. If that ensues, whether it's on Raw, whether it's on SmackDown, whether it's on NXT, I will say right now, that will be the massive game changer that all the people want to see, all the fans watching at home, all the fans all over the globe, all the fans on social media would definitely pay close attention to that matchup. That will change history. I mean, women's division, women's wrestling, women's division has changed since. And I will say this right now. This is the next step for Io Shirai. We'll say. I mean, Sasha Banks, she had the green mist in her eyes. And she got her hands full at Extreme Rules, the horror show, by the way. So Do you guys want to see? Do you guys want to see Sasha Banks and Bayley take on Io Shirai and Asuka for the women's tag team titles? And Hikaru say be coming back? I will definitely get you guys to that. So let me know in the comment section what your reaction, your thoughts are. Let me know if you think you want that to happen. I'll be more than happy to address a response to that for sure. So that's all I gotta say for that. Now on to the AEW Fyter Fest Night 1 results. Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, they have taken down both MJF and Wardlow. Hikaru Shida retains the AEW Women's title. Cody retains the AEW TNT title. Private Party defeats Santana and Ortiz. Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page. They retain the AEW Tag Team titles. So next week, everybody, will be on Wednesday. Next Wednesday night awards, you will see NXT Great American Bash Night 2. And then Fyter Fest Night 2. But there is a little potential spoiler for NXT's Great American Bash Part 2, but I'm not going to address that for sure. So I got to be very careful here. So you'll see it for yourself, everybody. You'll see it for yourself. So it'll be a big surprise. I will say it for sure. So make no mistake, it will be must see. We must watch. Be sure to catch Adam Cole versus Keith Lee, or NXT Lee, that is, in a champion versus champion winner take all. So get your popcorn out, get your pizza and wings, get your cold beverages out, get your burgers and hot dogs, enjoy the fireworks while you're at it, because folks, you don't want to miss that. And you must see. So 4th of July is coming around this Saturday, everybody. So I know 4th of July is, at least it's been canceled, by the way, due to the coronavirus concern. So be sure to stay tuned. Be sure to be safe, everybody, on that note. So no concert, none of that. So that's all you guys can know just for now. So be surprised news right there. And others I want to address, by the way, that late great Kobe Bryant will be landing on the Mamba Forever editions of NBA 2K21, current gen, next gen, Xbox One, PS4. So you can pre-order right now if you want, guys. It'll be worth something else. So I hope you guys will get the opportunity to see it and purchase it. So it'll be really good, though. I mean, yes, rest in peace to late great Kobe and Gigi and some of the individuals killed in the helicopter crash. Tough out there. So Kobe's legacy, late great Kobe Bryant's legacy will live on forever and ever. Future Hall of Famer, 2021. So that's really good news. I'll tell you that for sure. So all you guys need to know. Also, some other news I want to point out, by the way, that baseball player Jose Quintana undergoes microscopic surgery on a laceration on his left thumb after he was injured doing washing dishes, by the way. So hope he's in good spirits, by the way. So that's where it's out to him. Also, I'm going to address you about the fact of Cam Newton's response after he made the bone-chilling game changer of him going to the Pats, the 6-time champs. And I'm going to read you exactly what he said here. And basically, right here, it simply says, it's not a lot of things, but I can't buy, but amongst the most of the things of that list of things. You find respect as one of them. It's not all about the money. It's about respect. Now, there's a term, money, power, respect. So Cam Newton, he's all about respect, that is. So we need to ask ourselves, will Cam Newton be able to pretty much earn respect of his new team? Of maybe Belichick, by the way? Respect of the fans, Patriots fans, how they see him, how they think of him. He could get some mixed reactions here. I can tell you that, especially during this virtual press conference, if there is one, by the way. So this will be his big surprise. And ever since Cam Newton made that bone-chilling game changer, by the way, him doing the unthinkable by going to the Patriots, being the new quarterback. So you think Cam Newton's gonna be a starting quarterback? Well, Cam Newton, you got nothing coming to you. Because what people fail to realize, Cam Newton, that is, he may have made a great mistake by signing with the Pats. It is a bone-chilling move. I will say that. Playoffs, last 9 seasons, there will be a time where all things gotta come to an end. Because if he runs to a little speed bump or a roadblock, whether it's by injury, whether it is by pressure, whether it's by having not so good streak, not starting him, by the way, if Jerry Time's terrible, then not looking good there. If you get Cam Newton back, and if he lists 100%, well, not good. And he's got to go back to visiting the IR. Could be out for 6 to 8 weeks. If you got to get surgery, that's not going to look good there. That's got to tell him you're not going to be cleared. We'll see Cam Newton. And you got to say those words. You got to announce to the whole world that you're going to do what you got to do for the whole world. So if Cam Newton is indeed, well, Cam Newton, this is on you now. You brought it upon yourself to sign the 6-time champs. You brought it upon yourself to think that you're actually going to skedaddle your way, wallow your way, swallow your pride, and thinking that you're gonna win, that you're gonna get your redemption back. That you want to be great again. That you want a different outcome for sure. Cam Newton, he may be good at what he may have done those little training videos, whatnot. They're really good with his new teammates. I will say that with Mohamed Sanu, by the way. Even though it's prep that he may look like, he's in the best shape of his life though. Even though he may look like he seems to be 100% though, move the ball around and good pass protection. He's got it. But if he's anywhere near ready, he can still play. Unless he's starting quarterback, that is, by the way. That's the big question that remains. So, do I see Cam Newton, that is, walking out as a 2-time MVP, perhaps? As maybe main eventing his second Super Bowl that he's ever had against the 6-time champs, the Patriots, which would make their 10th Super Bowl appearance? Would you want to see Cam Newton have a different outcome when he walks out as a Super Bowl MVP and a Super Bowl champ that he has not done? Cam Newton, your run to recovery starts here. Your comeback tour will start here, and it's going to end here. All right? Cam Newton may have dug a hole in his grave, and he may rue the day that he signed with the Patriots, by the way. And he, in fact, may have the biggest regret of his life. And it's no secret that Belichick may have a death wish on Cam Newton as we speak, but mark my words, that Cam Newton may not be anywhere near ready. He's not ready to face the likes of Patrick Mahomes nor Lamar Jackson. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, yes, he's a Super Bowl champ, both MVP and Super Bowl MVP. And yes, he's got the MVP himself and Lamar Jackson. He's got in the crosshairs. Yes, he's going to have the regular schedule. You're going to have the Seahawks. You're going to have, the Bills. You're going to have the Dolphins, the Rams, the Cardinals, the Texans, Seahawks in there. You're pretty much going to have, 49ers, the Jets, the Bills. But the thing is, that seems to be like a win-win right there. But you're not. But you may not have a win streak ahead. You did have a win streak 5 years ago that led you to a Super Bowl, but you did that on your own. Now you want to set leverage. You find the perfect team that's going to guide you back to winning ways. They got you back to staying alive to staying alive. That can guide you back to the playoff spot. That can guide you back to MVP section. That can guide you back to Super Bowl and you can have a different outcome. So Cam Newton, one of these days, because Cam Newton's going to one of these days, he's going to explain why he made his bone-chilling, game-changing decision by going to the Patriots. Why he made his game-changing decision of having to plead his way to get a Super Bowl on his grasp. Why he intends to have Bill Belichick by his side. And what does Bill Belichick really think? What are his thoughts? You see, all those earth-shattering revelations will be unveiled in front of our very own eyes. And when that day comes, the whole world's going to be watching. Fans at home, fans around the world, fans around the country, fans on social media. And folks, when that day comes, you pretty much are going to, may risk it all, perhaps. And you may, in fact, probably consider retirement. If you get injured again, the coming season, you'll have to retire. You'll have to hang up those boots, hang up those cleats, your jersey, and they'll probably pretty much burn your jersey, whatnot, which they might do for sure. And they may burn that when you left the Panthers. And if you lose, it'll be another travesty if you don't make the playoffs, if you don't have a good game, or if you don't make the Super Bowl. That is, that will be another travesty, not only for yourself, Cam Newton, but for Bill Belichick. Oh yes, another travesty right there, and that occurs, and that ensues. It's over. Your season's over. Your career's over. And you're going to apologize once again to Belichick, to yourself, to your teammates, to the fans, why you can't win the big one, why you are nowhere near, why you think you're ready, but you're not. And do I see Cam Newton making his comeback? I highly doubt that. I highly doubt that for sure. And if he winds up injured, he's bringing upon himself. So everybody, brace yourselves. Look out. Pay close attention. I know Cam Newton's got a sore sleep, but are we going to see the Cam Newton of old that became an MVP, pummeled his way to Super Bowl, that is, and lost it? And he's going to pummel his way back to, well, maybe another Super Bowl reign, another Super Bowl, and get a Super Bowl of his own? You got to go through the Chiefs. And I mean, if you make the playoffs, you got to go through the Chiefs, Ravens, Texans. That will be ugly. That's going to be very, very ugly. I will say it for sure. So do I think you're going to make the playoffs? Not a chance. Not a chance, by the way. Not a chance. So that's all I'm going to have to say right there, everybody, on the opportunity. So the Cam Newton Belichick saga, well, you're already in it. Say what you want. But they will indeed get to you. I mean, yes, Cam Newton's going to have 1.13 mil salary cap charge on him. Additional 6.45 mil. So, yeah, salary cap and guarantee $550K. Guaranteed money, that is, by the way. But obviously for him, Cam Newton's time to put up or shut up. It's time for you. Swallow your pride. Swallow your pride. What all you want. At the end of the day, there is nowhere to run. This is not someone that came. Well, Cam Newton is not some one-trick pony star quarterback. No, he's not. Star quarterback making his comeback. That is star quarterback. That's redemption. That star quarterback that's held Ben against exactly what's McLaren for this entire time. And he's an MVP quarterback that can do whatever extraordinary things. I made no mistake. Cam Newton may not make it back. So everyone pay close attention because this road's gonna be hard to climb. I will say that for sure. Make no mistake, everybody, on that. Another news I want to get down to. By the way, I want to get down to just the fact that Lift Every Voice and song known as the Black National Anthem set to be played or performed live before every Week 1 NFL game, considering other measures during the upcoming solutions, that is, knowing victims of police brutality and the Black Lives Matter movement. Song would be performed before Star single man. Now in the wake of George Floyd's death toll, Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna Taylor's death toll. So rest the cops that killed Breonna Taylor and Elijah McClain. But seriously, I think it's safe to say that this may very well be the appropriate move. I mean, they could do this throughout the upcoming season. They could do this in 2021 or the next couple of years. They could do so just to eradicate police brutality, eradicate racism and hate, eradicate all that stuff, because it's got to dissolve. I can say that right now. But all these issues have been going on. I mean, that 2020's been a total dumpster fire, which it has, by the way. So obviously, this is the next step for the NFL. Our players going to be kneeling. Our players going to be pretty much singing during the national anthem. They can kneel as well because of police brutality. That's all there is. So that's all there is. So another more right there. I'll tell you that right now. So that's pretty much all you gotta know. Everybody on that. Another news I want to address right away, everybody, that Maya Moore released 40-year-old inmate by the name of Jonathan Irons from prison. You see, Irons, he did 20 years, a 50-year sentence from 98 following a wrongful conviction of burglary and assault with a weapon of suburban St. Louis homeowner. A man testifies Irons was the individual that did that assaulted it, by the way, at his own home. Irons also said there's no evidence of this, and that Irons there's no evidence that Irons did commit that 16 of the time of this incident, though. So Irons, he is free. Maya Moore, the WNBA champ, didn't free. The WNBA did free him, by the way. As you may know, Maya Moore was opted out of the WNBA season, focused on social justice issues. So, and racial justice issues. So basically, that's all there is. So that's all you know. So that's a big move right there. Black Lives Matter and change everything. I will say that for sure. So got your work cut out right there. Now, more news I want to address, by the way, that many of you guys have known that Dan Snyder, he has to change the name because Dan Snyder right now is looking like a piece of garbage, despite the fact that the fans, that Native Americans and fans, want him to change the name of the Washington Football and change the name of the Skins because it's racially offensive to Native Americans and the Native American culture, for sure. And FedEx, Pepsi, and even Nike, they were intending to depart from Washington Football unless Dan Snyder changes the name. He can have it later on tonight. He can change the name later on tonight. Change it by tomorrow because they come on. The only reason why Dan Snyder doesn't want to change the name because of the fact that it's all about the guap. Dan Snyder, change the name. Do it for the fans. Do it for the Native Americans. Do it for the culture. Do it for your own country. Do it for the team. Do it for all the fans at home. Do it for the fans in attendance all over the country, all on social media, because they're the ones that want you to change that name. You don't do so, Dan Snyder, you're gonna be on the shelf. You're gonna be done for, and you can wind up being released for good. And the fans, they want you released. You don't change that name. If you don't give the fans what they really desire, with Dan Snyder, you can pack your bags, get going. Because Dan Snyder, if you don't change the name, well, that's on you. Dan Snyder, change the name. But Washington Football will not be playing at Nation's Capital anymore. The Nation's Capital mayor herself, she most certainly wants the name changed as well, which indeed she does. So, I mean, I want the name changed. I don't know that I want the name changed for sure. So, what name change do you think that Skin's going to be turned out to be? Does Washington Football want to turn out to be? You think? I mean, even though Washington Football was a terrible team, though, and they were a complete dumpster fire, which they were, by the way. So, really, what's the name that you want to see Washington Football instead? Do you want to see maybe, I don't know, Washington Braves, Washington, I don't know, Terps, Washington Bulldogs, maybe Washington, maybe Jackrabbits, Washington. Well, you guys can think of the name. What name do you think the Washington Football is going to turn out to be? You send me your comments down below. I will address it. I'll respond, and that's all there is to it. So Dan Snyder, change the name. That's all you gotta do. Just change the name. Simple as that, everybody. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it right there for the Clothing Hour Sports Board. Please be sure you always like and subscribe to the Clothing Hour Sports Board YouTube channel and Facebook page by any means necessary. Be sure to send me your comments, your Twitch reaction, your thoughts on the NXT's Great American Bash Night 1 results. Let me know if you think that Asuka and Io Shirai are going to once again be a tag team and tag team favorites for the NXT for the women's tag team titles. By the way, even though Hikaru and Asuka say we're women's tag team champs twice, could Io Shirai jump ship to the main roster? And Asuka, by the way, could they be women's tag team champs, taking down both Sasha Banks and Bayley? Please know in the comment section. I'll address your response. Let me know that. What are your thoughts on Timothy Thatcher taking down Oney? Look, you think that Timothy Thatcher will be a future NXT champ? Let me know in the comment section. Do you think that Tegan Nox, and now even though she was number one contender for the NXT Women's title, by the way, I will say that, you think Tegan Nox could be walking out with her first NXT Women's title reign? Tough task there. It's a really tough task. So let me know in the comment section about that. I will address or respond. Everybody on that particular note, on Cam Newton saying, it's not about the guap and not about the money. It's about respect. So really, how do fans really think of Cam Newton? Do you think that Cam Newton is actually going to get his retribution, to make his comeback? You think Cam Newton's going to build a new chapter that we're witnessing right now? You know, the Cam Newton and the Belichick chapter, the Belichick era, by the way. So let me know about that. I will be more than happy to address this. What do you think of Cam Newton's workout? And also, there is a workout video that came in there. So I'm not going to be able to spill the beans here, everybody. I mean, yes, Odell Beckham does, in fact, won out the Browns, because even though Odell Beckham wants to be with a team that's going to help him win a title, and he's never been a Super Bowl champion in his life, didn't do so with the G-Men, didn't do so with the Browns, but it is safe to say that Odell Beckham could be leaving the Browns as we know it. So let me know if you think that Odell Beckham's going to leave the Browns and maybe, just maybe, be in pursuit of, Cam Newton throwing the football to